Oh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spill the Tea, Lou. You are live with Louise and Ash. Louise does not know what she is doing. StreamYard has indicated that I am live, but nothing appears to be happening. So if we are live, somebody please let me know in the chat, because we have had some technical difficulties. Ash barely made it on the stream. Yes, well, Ash was not moral support. He just sat there laughing at me when I didn't know what to do. I would just like to say, this is my first time using StreamYard. I'm learning on the fly. I thought Ash would be a bit of moral support. He's not. So, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. I am Lou. We're about to spill the tea. This is Ash. Ash is a Newcastle fan. And recently I've been talking about teams that have been left out of the conversation, not getting enough attention, and Newcastle fits the bill. So I thought, I know a nice Newcastle fan that'll come on here and just wing it with me. So here we are winging it. Now, what I will just say before we start talking about Newcastle, Ash, you might need to close your ears for this part. I would just like to thank all of the lovely Sunderland fans on the planet so much, because I just had my very first over 1,000 views video, and it was for Sunderland. So I am hoping that Newcastle are going to feel a little bit competitive, and that they are going to come in here and take us to 2,000. Tell all your Newcastle friends.
You see, yeah? Lou, the reason why that happened is because you don't
insult all my new friends.
So Sunderland, you don't see the reason why you don't see any content creators from Sunderland, because they're such a small club. So you doing that,
I'll tell you
probably
what,
thought, wow, this person might support Sunderland.
Absolutely massive, Ash, because they took me over 1,000. So they're unreal. I have had the okay in the background. Things are going well. My technical support has exited the room. So if anything goes wrong, I'm just going to pull this plug out. If you see me reaching for this plug, it is all gone completely wrong. So, Ash, I am not going to keep anybody past 8 o'clock. I understand my team might not be playing, but there's football on this evening. There's some really good matchups. We have some interesting combinations. I would like to watch it. Obviously, Ash would like to watch it. A lot of you in the chat would like to watch it. I'm seeing all the familiar faces and names. Thank you all so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. Ash, as I said, has agreed to be my guinea pig while I experiment my very first time using StreamYard. It has been interesting, to say the very least. This is Ash's channel, Ash NUFC. Ash talks about NUFC on his channel. So not right now, but after the show, please do go and check him out. And let's get into it. So Ash asked me earlier, Louise, what are we going to talk about on the show today? And I was like, Ash, I don't even know how I'm going to get on the show today, let alone what we're going to talk about. Newcastle, that's it. That's the whole topic for the next 45 minutes. We've just got Newcastle. It's all that's happening. It's the only team we want to talk about. Now, I'm going to have a bit of an opening statement. You maybe are not going to enjoy it, but then you're going to be able to talk and convince me why I should pick Newcastle to watch tonight out of all the matches that are on. How does that sound?
I mean, sure.
You look a little bit more confident.
Well, to be fair, I've seen the lineup that Liverpool's put out, and they've put out their second team, to be fair, which kind of surprised me. I didn't think they were going to be doing that.
Sorry, you've only just started talking after me waffling for a few minutes, and there's the Sam. Hello.
It appears.
I would just like to let everybody know.
I mentioned
very nice
Liverpool
to Sam in the chat. I know Liverpool has not been doing well at the minute, but we're going to be nice to Sam on this channel, because actually it was his idea that I should actually have a logo in the first place. Otherwise, it would still just be my face on that wee circle. So Hassam has been very nice and very helpful since I started doing these videos. So everybody show him some love there in the chat. Guess loves a link. Guess is one of my very good friends. She absolutely loves a link. She has got your channel link right in there. She's on the ball. We love her. She's so, so good. Anyway, sorry. I got bored about 3 seconds in of you talking about Newcastle. Excite me, Ash.
What was you talking about Newcastle? I was talking about Liverpool, so that says it all, to be fair. I mean, listen, I have no hate towards Liverpool right now, because they gave us 130 million and took a problem off our hands.
Ash,
so
I have invited you on to explain the excitement of being a Newcastle fan, and you're talking about Liverpool. You're not selling it to me.
Yeah, that's the start of it, because, right, listen, we had an absolute terrible start to this transfer window with the whole saga with Isak. And then look at us now. We're technically our season's just starting. Like our striker that we bought it hasn't even played a game for us yet. Flipping Johan Wisser hasn't even touched the bloody ball. So
are you counting that as a positive?
I mean,
is that a good thing?
I mean, for us to get we're 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws. So I've got to take it as a positive because we're not doing too great. I mean, our season started not too well. We're an incredibly expansive football team, but we have had some issues, to say the least, how the season started.
Kind of like how I had getting onto StreamYard. Just some small minor issues. Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, Lou, I'm going to be honest. I think my grandma can work a PC better than you can.
Do you know what? She probably cannot, honestly.
I genuinely think so. And that says a lot. Like, oh my Lord. But no, it's going to be good. Like today's game is going to be nice to see because we are actually the cup holders, believe it or not, which is a weird thing to say as a Newcastle fan. And first time that I can never say that in my life.
That's terrible. I didn't know. I didn't know research at all. I was like, Ash is going to know all the Newcastle stuff. I'm actually just going to be there to like talk to him. Surely
you know that we won the Carabao Cup last season.
Ash, I don't know what I had for breakfast yesterday.
Right, I mean that's probably true.
That's not a Newcastle thing. That's a Lou thing. Me and memory.
The Lulu back at it again.
Absolutely. No, but I do have a very serious question for you, okay? Because this is something that I want to know. Obviously, you have Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Man United. People talk about them all the time. They talk about them to death, some more than others. But then you have kind of the next sort of little category, and you've got the likes of Chelsea. Chelsea was like super exciting. They had the Jose Mourinho era, and then they had some off the field sort of excitement with the Abramovich stuff. Jesus, I can't get my words out. That's the guy. But so even when they're not exciting on the pitch, they're exciting off the pitch. And now they're doing this, buying their own teams, selling to their own companies. They're having a bit of crack with it. Yeah. So Chelsea are always quite an interesting team, whether you're talking about them on the pitch or off the pitch. So there's always a little bit of a buzz about them. And I think they're still probably living off the Jose stuff at this point. Like we're still living off Sir Alex Ferguson. You know, you live off it for a wee while. And then you've kind of got Spurs. And Kate's my friend. So I'm going to try not to say anything very bad about Spurs. But I mean, they're a bit boring. Then you've got the likes of like Brighton, who are sort of they're still considered this young, bright thing, this new up and coming team. They're just on the edge of it. Like this season, obviously, you've got Bournemouth, maybe going to do an upset. You've got
How far down are we going there, Lou? How far down are we going there?
Not much further. We're nearly there.
You just said Sunderland above us.
Well, Sunderland are like above you, so sorry. But at the moment, you know what you need to do? Get some more goals. But then you kind of get Newcastle, and you're sort of in that middle bit. And it's like, I'm very sorry, but I would sort of put you in that category with Spurs, where I'm a bit like, they're there, they do things, but like, if I see Newcastle's playing, I don't be like, oh my God, I must watch that. If you're not playing like a big opposition, what is that perception? Like, where does that come from? So
the biggest problem about, I guess, being a Newcastle fan that we've had in the recent time is this. It's like this whole conversation that I had with Jesse earlier that everyone talks about the big six. Yes. That only came into fruition in 2010 for the next like 10 years. So 2010 to 2020 was like you had the traditional top six of Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea. I was forgetting another one. Those six were like the main. Those six were like the main six. Obviously, there's asterisks now over the Chelsea and the Man City with the cases towards them. But before that, if you go back, before we got taken over by Mike Ashley, which was 2007, we had exciting times. Like we nearly won the Premier League. We were like 12 points ahead of you guys back in the 90s. We had a really good like team under the entertainers under Kevin Keegan. And then basically when we got taken over, we kind of went downhill because Mike Ashley basically just didn't want to put any money into the club. So we ended up getting relegated twice. And then
that's exciting. I mean, not in the good way, but I mean, it was good.
It was good to destroy. We came back up the year after both times, and to be fair, we did destroy the championship, and they said Champions League. Bloody hell, I wish.
Next up.
Yeah, well, hey, that's it. To be fair, we're 8th in the Champions League right now, so hey, we're above most teams, so can't go wrong there. But yeah, to be fair, as a Newcastle fan, I think because at the moment, with the way the media is, there's a lot of people like our age that are in like football, like 20s to like late 30s. So all that they will have really seen is like Newcastle being further down the leaderboard, which is fair. It's all that I've grown up really seeing. But obviously, since we got taken over like 3.5 years ago now, coming to 4 years, basically our trajectory has completely changed, because it's like now we actually have, because we the thing is, Newcastle has already had loads of fans all around the world. But we've not had someone like an owner to be able to like actually pump money into the club to be able to bring us up to like the likes of the top 6 and stuff. So we've always been that bottom 6 to bottom of the Premier League, and just constantly going up and down. Yeah. So now where we are, because we've had money pumped in, so now we're pushing into the Champions League and European spots. So with us being in the Champions League the last 2 out of the 3 seasons. So yeah.
I have 2 questions for you. One of them is courtesy of Twisted, because you're speaking and I'm listening, but I'm reading along to the chat. Anthony, we are not doing a watch along together for tonight's match, because honestly, I'm not sure my technical capabilities.
I am not being funny. I do not think Lou could pull up a YouTube video right now. So I think doing a watch along is completely off the cards.
Maybe one day, Ash. That's what I'm going to aim for. Some channels aim for 1 million subscribers. I'm aiming to be able to do a watch along at the same time as a stream.
You just get one of those like ham radios and just listen, like, but go back to like the World War or something. We'll just like tune into like some radio station or something.
Over. Right.
Hey, listen,
now,
could be a gap in the market for that.
Now that we're done laughing at my technical capabilities, Twisted has a question, which I believe is actually for you. Are Newcastle bigger than Palace?
I don't think that's a question. It's very true.
It's a question.
I think the thing is, the reason why it's 100% true is not a dig at Twisted this, but because Newcastle,
because he's going to hit your back.
Well, the thing is, but you think about this, right? Newcastle, no matter what, will naturally be bigger than Crystal Palace based on the fact we're a one city team. In the whole of Newcastle, we're just Newcastle United. Whereas, obviously, London, you've got flipping. I don't even have enough fingers to count how many flipping teams are in London. So naturally, yes, that we are a bigger club than Crystal Palace. Obviously,
right, well, I have a follow-on question. This question has a part B. Do you think Newcastle is more exciting than Crystal Palace? And take your Newcastle hat off. Say if you're a neutral like me.
I think as a neutral, to be fair, Newcastle is one of the most enjoyable clubs to watch, to be honest. Like, if you ever watch us like at home, the amount, like, all the wall flags that we do, the crowd is so involved in the team. Like, and not to mention, we're a very, very high pressing football team. Like, the way Eddie Howe's got us playing, thank God we're in this era, not because before, I'm not going to lie to you, under Steve Bruce and Mike Ashley, I would not be saying any of this, because holy shit, we were dross. Like, I specifically remember this one game under Steve Bruce. We were at home against Fulham and we had like 40% possession. It was one of the worst games I have ever seen. But no, now I think it is very nice to be like, say, as a neutral, to watch a Newcastle game, because we're very attacking. We don't like to sit back. Like, you'll see from like Terry from the Football Terrace even said earlier, like when he was going on about like teams that sit back against Arsenal, which I agree, but some of the teams that don't, being us, like we don't sit back against Arsenal. We have a very high line. Are you telling
me that Terry Flowers gave Newcastle credit? We're going to have to get him a gold star in the post.
I think it was accidental. I think it was it was to praise Arsenal, so it was kind of a backhanded one, but I'll be taking it because. Yeah, we're in a weird position. Like I said, we're on a club that's on the up. We've just got a new sporting director because we were missing one for like basically the last 2 years. So Ross Wilson's basically giving out contracts and bumper contracts to all of our good players like Tonali, Going to be looking at Bruno, just all these different players to keep obviously our good talent. I don't have any aspirations of winning the league. I would love for that to happen one day, but I am not a delusional Newcastle fan. I know how we've been over the past 20 years. So just to be able to do better football and aim for the Champions League spots, that's all I'm happy with for the moment. But there is one other thing, Lou, about what's good about being a Newcastle fan. Yeah. So the owners have just pumped over 100 million into the club because that's going to be going towards a brand new training ground and a brand new football stadium.
Are you saying that your roof isn't going to leak?
I mean,
jealous.
I mean, to be fair, if you go to St James's Park as an away fan, you're basically sitting flipping in Old Trafford. I don't know if you've ever been to St James. It's honestly right. St James's Park is the only ground where literally you're sitting like 200 rows away from the edge of the pitch. It's crazy. It's why it's such a good atmosphere, to be fair, as a Newcastle fan.
Well, now what I want to know, so you're telling me Newcastle, they're on the up, they're exciting, they've got great players, it's a whole new era, but you're still perceived as boring. And I'm not being nasty, but you are. No, so do you think, we talk an awful lot, particularly on YouTube, you see it all the time, you talk about PR, the PR machine, the players' PR, the managers' PR, the club's PR. Are your PR team dropping the ball? Why do I not know Newcastle are exciting and this is a whole new era? Why are they not telling me that?
It's because where Newcastle is. You've got to think like all these media companies, they're in London, so they naturally say these stuff. And then obviously the likes of Man United, you guys have been big for ages, so you're always going to do that. But no, the main reason why we're not spoke about as much is just where we are. Like, because in all honesty, there's not a single bad thing to really say about our club. Like in the nicest way, it's just I feel like people want to keep the top six, and don't like someone breaking in. Maybe I don't know, but like I said, I think the top six. It's only been there for 10 years, and now we're moving into an era where it's not going to be there. And is it the media problem that we're not as talked about as much? I don't know. I think it's like I said. I think it's just because Sky Sports likes to talk about the clubs that have won titles, and I'm not going to lie. Right now, we're not one of them. But who knows? We go up and down whether we get spoke about.
I think part of your problem is right. So you're not one of the traditional big teams, but you're also not small enough to be an underdog. So at the minute, people are loving Sunderland. People are enjoying Bournemouth. People really like Crystal Palace. Stop laughing. I would just like to say, Madfoot is in the chat there talking about discrimination, okay? I know how to say words, right? You say Disneyland. You say Ireland.
Yeah, Disneyland. Does that have an R in it?
Ireland does. Ireland. Sunderland. I mean, I think you are the ones pronouncing it wrong, if I'm honest. But anyway, discrimination is right. Twisted Fava has suggested that Newcastle need a new sexy facelift. And you know what? I agree with him. And I do. I think your problem is, see the likes of Crystal Palace. They're small enough that if they do well, you go, oh, well done. Newcastle are too big to be in that category, but they're too small to be traditionally to be in the top. So you're just sort of wandering around the middle abyss there.
Well,
so
that's why,
we're doing enough to advertise you. It's like,
that's what I'm saying.
So come watch us.
So I agree about that facelift thing, but that's why I'm saying about like a brand new training ground and a brand new stadium that will do that. Like that's why I said, like, I think you've got to give us. We're going to be in this stage where we're going to be a bit just under the top four or something for like being able to challenge and stuff. But until we get that new stadium, new training ground, there's going to be such a different feel about the city and everything. Like you think about how good Man United's training ground is now. They put 50 million into that brand new ground. It's amazing, and that's what we need. Yeah. Well, the thing is, so we basically, when the owners took over, they basically upgraded the training facilities that were there already in Benton, but it still wasn't enough. We need more. So, but they're looking at places to build it. So, and like I said, they've just put a load of money into the club. So, it should be nice. It's
Yeah.
it's one of those things like Rob said, like Newcastle's one of those teams that no one dislikes because we're not one of those teams that are challenging all the time. So you can't just hate us. But then it's like we're not too low that you feel sorry
like
for
the
us.
girl next door. You're just the girl next door. You're really nice. You're totally fine. But I mean, you're not probably asking her to the cinema. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably not. Bit sad.
That's a bit PG compared to some of the analogies I hear on this YouTube place, but that's where we're at for the minute. Luke loves the Geordies, so I mean, you can't argue with that. Lipstick on a pig never works. I don't think we're going to call Newcastle a pig. Let's calm down.
That's crazy.
Miss Piggy once a word. Sorry, I was supposed to be leading the stream and I'm just sitting here reading the chat because they're all so funny. If anybody has any questions they want me to put to Ash, get them in. I'll ask him anything. Almost.
Look, so
on my second live stream.
There is stuff that I do want to say, like to do with say Newcastle, because it does
get it all off your chest, Ash. Let us know.
So there's things that just annoy me, just like the fact people just seem to think like we're such a lower club than actually what we are. Like the fact that, like I said, since like January 2022, so going back 3 years now, we have accumulated points. If you made a table from then, we would be 4th across the whole of the Premier League. So it's like we're not exactly. But this is what I'm saying is like we're bear in mind during that period you had the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. They're the ones that are above us, and they've smashed like 90-point seasons and stuff during that period. So it's like when you actually realize and think about it, we're actually a lot better than what people give us credit for. And like I said, the end of last season, we were the bookies' favourites to get Champions League because we had the best fixtures, we were the highest in the table of the rest, and we bottled our last 2 games because, I mean, Isak clearly had his eyes on the Liverpool situation. But then like you got to like this transfer window and everyone was like, oh, Chelsea's going to be challenging and stuff, and I'm like,
I was one of those people and it's hysterical now.
But I
think Quest peer pressured me. He influenced me without me knowing. I was like, no, do you know what it is with Chelsea? And I'll be honest with you. Chelsea have been like refining their team forever. I mean, they've been buying these players, keeping the ones they like, selling the ones they don't, more new players, keep replacing them. They've been doing this for years. How many years do you need to refine for? Surely they were ready. Obviously, bloody not. But I mean, I was fooled by that. I was one of those people. It's like, surely Chelsea, like after this many years, doing all of that, they're going to mount some sort of a charge.
You would think that. I think it's because the way Chelsea's gone. Obviously, they got under their new owners and everything. They looked through their books and everything and realized the massive problems, and they abused the system where they bought people quite young, around 20-ish, like anywhere between like 18 to like 22, and then stuck them on like 8-year contracts and stuff. So you would think they should be challenging and doing stuff right now, but they've definitely they've misbought and stuff in certain areas. They definitely are a team that heavily relies on Cole Palmer. I think that's shown. And
I think you mean Cold Palmer.
I'll tell you what. He flipping
looks
it. He looks at the stadiums. Have you seen him at Stamford Bridge? He's got like a flipping 8,000 layer bloody sleep suit on. Like he's constantly in a sleeping bag. Like, I don't know. This man needs to get some heating. You would think they flipping would have some like on the chairs.
Low iron or something. Yeah,
maybe that's why he's injured.
Flossie has seen the moment where I was like, oh, I can do this. I can make it go up on the screen. I was listening to you, but I was also just pushing buttons to see what
Believe
might happen.
I saw the happiness like light up in your eyes when you did that.
I'm a simple child. Now,
it's good.
You did mention the man of the moment, and Flossie may actually need to close her ears for this one because I know she's sick of hearing this man's name. There's a very popular TV show at the moment called The Traitors, and you mentioned a certain man that might be considered a traitor who is underperforming a little bit this season. Alexander Isak. Are you feeling happy?
Yes and no, because I've always said this, right? With Isak, he's actually not played that much time for Liverpool. Like he's still like It's a weird thing to say because he needs time to settle in to get his preseason. I'm on the fence because I'm like, as my unbiased point of view, yes, he needs time to settle in. He needs more time to get his fitness back up. But using it as a Newcastle fan, I'm like, well, why? Why have you got this? Why are you unfit? And it's because you didn't bother flipping training with us. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I'm going to be happy that he's not doing amazing because we've sold him on. I doubt we've got a sell-on fee or anything like that. So the fact we've got like 130 million pounds off him, we've bought Voltamada, which is someone who I spoke about in great detail, and at the moment he's looking absolutely unbelievable. Potentially the signing of the season, I would say, for the overseas players. Like,
I know a certain goalkeeper that might fight you for that, but we'll see.
I mean,
carry on.
Listen, the main thing about, well, actually, yeah, to be fair, saving goals and scoring goals is a big part. But
be fair, Lawmans is probably going to push us up about 5 places. He's already got 6 points we wouldn't have had with the other yoke. So
well, actually, same with Voltamada.
Yes,
he's
so maybe they're going to battle it out. Maybe they're going to be the top 2. We don't even need to talk about other teams. Newcastle is actually the number 1 competition for United, and we're going to go for the league. Never mind the others. Irrelevant. Let's go to Lulu.
Delulu, back at it again.
But yes, sorry, Ash, I completely interrupted, and I know how much you like to talk about Voltamesi, because I asked you about Isak, and we're somehow talking about your new favourite player, Voltamesi. I hope.
Well, I said, well, it comes in it. So that was actually his nickname from Germany, by the way. That wasn't even something that Newcastle fans gave him. That was like what German fans gave him. Mm-hmm. Sorry, random topic. Back on Isak, the whole problem. I've said this, and I will be honest. Isak is an absolute unbelievable talent. Like, watching him at Newcastle, like I've said this to so many people. You go back, I think it was 2 years ago. We played a game against Everton, and he took the ball from the halfway line, the left side, took on like 5 or 6 Everton players, and then like. I can't remember. He either scored or dinked it over to the back post where we got the goal. And it was just like, just watching that, I was like, we have got such an unbelievable talent. But I think it also highlights some stuff that maybe people haven't realized. This is what Eddie Howe's so good at. He brings the best out of players. And maybe that's why he's underperforming at Liverpool, is because Eddie Howe just is so good at getting the best out of players and having the best performance they can possibly give. So maybe that's why.
You know, I enjoy a wee saying. I always have a wee saying, and I love that one, that sometimes the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So what was better was the combination. The key wasn't Isak. The key was Isak as part of the Newcastle team under the right manager. And if you take him out of that environment, away from that manager, away from those teammates, you see that actually he was just a part of the whole.
He was a pepperoni on the slice of pizza. But
exactly. He was just an important cog, but a cog.
Well, the problem is that Liverpool clearly could see that anyone in football should realise, if you are getting a player in and he just goes on strike, tries to sell his house, pushes this move, doesn't play a game like for preseason, goes to Spain, tells Eddie Howe that he's pulled his knee, so he needs to go back to Newcastle, goes to Newcastle, gets the next flight out to Spain to go train at Real Sociedad, and then Eddie Howe doesn't even know that he's gone to Spain. He finds that out from the media. It's like, as Liverpool fans, bear in mind, they didn't even have him at this point. Like, I'm surprised they actually came back with another bid. Like, that really surprised me.
It's a bad luck.
It's
I'm very reliably informed that he is from the wrong team in Sweden. He's from the wrong end of Sweden. I've been told by a lovely Swedish person. So actually, he was always just going to be a bad egg.
I don't even know where he's from in Sweden.
No, Guess there, one of our moderators, she's from Sweden, so she has reliably informed me. I want to like Isak, but he's from the wrong team in Sweden. So I mean, he was set up for failure. Sorry. He's actually had a lucky escape. But no, look, Isak is a very, very talented player, but it's very clearly not working. There was a little piece of magic that made it work at Newcastle, whatever that was, whatever part of the combination that was, it clearly worked, and it's clearly not working so far at Liverpool. It's not. Oh, I pushed the button. Is everything still okay?
It is. It's fine.
Sorry, panic. But it's clearly not working so far. It may down the line, but
do you know why?
For the fees involved, Ekitike is absolutely smashing it. So like, you'd be a bit raging. Can we have a refund, please?
Do you know what I would say? Because, so like I said, we didn't have a sporting director. This is something else Eddie Howe needs to get massive credit for. You look at all the players that he's trying to get. We tried to sign Ekitike 3 years ago, which he ended up going to, I think he was at Rems during the time and then chose PSG over us. Like, we have tried to sign so many of these players that other people have gone to get and have gone on to be a success. And that's not been under a sporting director doing it. That's like Eddie Howe and his, I think it's his nephew, Andrew, that went around and was looking. So it's
sorry, I'm so listening to you because you're genuinely, what you're saying is very interesting to me because I don't know a lot about Newcastle, but I'm so easy to I shouldn't be allowed to be streaming because actually I'm like, I'm just watching the comments. You can tell I'm a moderator because I'm trying to be on a stream talking to you and I'm moderating the comments. It's terrible. You hold that thought, but we have an update. So yes, we have AIK and we love Diff. So he's an ick and we don't like them.
He's
like
an ick.
Well, it's like orcs, icks. They sound bad. Icks.
He gave
Who wants that shit?
He gave Newcastle the ick, to be fair, with how he played.
Well, there you go.
With how he did.
He was born into it.
Yeah.
But also, Flossie with the home truths.
I love that one. Ake's mascot is a rodent.
I mean, so he was always a bit of a rat. Sorry, Isak. I actually don't even have a horse in this race. Like, I don't care that he went to do you know what it is? I'm a really petty person. I'm really petty. If that was my club, I'm just like, do you know what? I am delighted you're absolutely tanking.
Yeah. No, like I said, of course I'm happy he's doing badly. It's because at the end of the day, we've made £130 million. So
yeah, you didn't get a bad deal. I mean, you can reinvest that money much better than just having one player. You know, so I do think it gives you the opportunity to do other things. But I do think that's probably our quota on talking about Isak, because honestly, it got to the point in the summer where I was like, if I actually hear his name one more time, he's not my player. I'm not buying him. Yeah. I don't care. Just shut up. Stop talking about him. Like, it's done. But I have to say, as a non-Newcastle fan, I did feel like a little bit of satisfaction that he's tanking a bit. I mean, I don't think it's going to stay like that, but I'm just a petty person. I was like, you know what? He sort of deserves that. That's karma in action, isn't it?
Yeah. I know. Well, to be fair, I'm surprised he's doing as bad as what he is, because
me too.
Yeah, he is. But I do you know one thing I did say? He is very injury prone, and basically, I think the 3 years of us having him, his combined injury record equates to like 39 games missed, which is more than a season. Which I think that's including like Sweden and for Newcastle. But it says a lot. And then obviously he's got a groin injury or something that he's come off with. So I was like,
I wondered, was that fake because he's doing so badly? They just wanted to give him a few matches off. Now, maybe, like, you know, I love a wee conspiracy theory. Do you not just think, you know what, he's absolutely tanking. Everyone's on him. They're killing us about the price. Just tell him he's injured for a few days and people have forgot about him.
I mean, look, if that happens to Verts, then I'll completely agree. That's probably is what's happened.
Imagine. But you have a match tonight.
We do, against Spurs at home.
How are you feeling about that? The two boring teams are battling it out. What I will say, I think Newcastle is less boring than Spurs. But these are the two teams that kind of just, these are the plus ones. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I actually think it could be really interesting. I hope you beat them, because like if you beat them, then you have won the battle of the.
Do you know how funny that is though? They're like with those teams that's like the plus one, and yet. Yeah. Us and Spurs both won a trophy last season.
I know.
That says so much, doesn't it?
But doesn't it? Like, I'm a cheeky cow. Look at my team. My team finished in a brutal spot. Like, we haven't won a trophy in God knows how long. But I mean, like, we're still excited.
But you'll be back though. But that's the thing is, like, everyone knows that Man United is going to be back to contesting within the next year or two. So yeah, Harvey Barnes is starting. I absolutely love Harvey Barnes, but the problem is he's like He's I presume I see he's a Leicester City fan. That'll be why he's. But yeah, I was so happy when we bought Harvey Barnes. But what he's shown since Gordon had a red card, he needs to be brought on as a sub. Like you bring Harvey Barnes on at 60 minutes, he scores goals. But if he starts the game, I don't know if it's because the wing backs or the left backs or whatever have the same engine that he does. Whereas like he needs to wait until someone's pace has gone down a bit and someone's a bit out of breath. But he's incredibly.
Some players are better as substitutes. Like look at Solskjaer. Solskjaer was just the top #1 substitute of all time, and I will brook no arguments about that whatsoever. The man was a phenomenon. But I mean, that was his talent. And I actually would argue for a lot of his time at Man United, Garnacho, even though he was younger, should have more energy. I know what you're saying about people being tired, but Garnacho I actually found was much more impactful as a sub. Some players, that's what they're good at. Some, and I read before, and this might apply, but I read before Solskjaer, I think it might have been in Fergie's book, one of Fergie's books, he was saying that Solskjaer used to sit on the bench, it might have been Roy Keane's book, was one of them, and he used to watch and he would analyse, and he said he always knew he was going to be a manager because he was already doing it. He was analysing it. So by the time he came on, he had already watched what every other player was doing. He had
that's what I was thinking.
He was ready to go.
That's what I was thinking as well. It's incredibly good to do that though. Yeah. Like if you it's because let's be honest, someone like Harvey Barnes, like Anthony Gordon's always going to be starting before him, but he knows he's going to be coming on some point in the game. So if you do that, you can think about holes and stuff that you'll have in the defense that you can exploit. And 100%. Because they're a bit more tired and a bit more leggy, you come on and you can just instantly have an impact, which is it's great to do, and it's obviously a good point on them as a player, but also on the coaching staff to be able to look. This is like a hole in their team. You're very good at doing this. Come on and do that. But it's too much expected from subs. I mean, no, I don't think there is. The thing is, Twisted, I think this is where this is wrong, because it's the same as Arsenal saying they have the best squad potentially in the world. You need to have an amazing squad to be able to come on later on in the game to have an impact, because if you pick up a first 11, like your starting team, if they somehow make tweaks or somehow you don't score and it doesn't do exactly what you need to have backup plans, and your backup plans are the likes of the subs to be able to change the system. Because so basically in a football game you will see, so say tonight we're starting a 4-3-3, throughout the whole 90 minutes the formation of teams changes like 5 or 6 times. Like people don't realize that. Like it's a constant fluid changing team emotion. That's because of how the manager's drilled into them to do at different points of the game. So to have a sub is incredibly important. And if a sub comes on at 60 minutes, you would expect them to potentially have an impact and score, because that's still 30 odd minutes in a game that they're coming on for, plus injury time. So no,
I understand where Twist is coming from in terms of oftentimes when the game's running away from us and we're not winning, we're not doing well, and you're putting your subs on going, save us, be our savior, be our hero, everything's on you. The whole rest of the team has mucked it up for the whole match, and now it's on you to fix it and win us the match. So I understand what he's saying from that point of view, because we do put a lot of pressure on our subs. My argument would be, well, do you know what? You've put yourself in that position, because if you were playing well enough or doing well enough in training, you'd be in the first 11. You wouldn't be a sub. You wouldn't be coming on to prove yourself and to save the day. So actually, yes, we do put pressure on the subs, but I think they put themselves in that position. And I think they need to take accountability for that as well. It's not like they're a sub because they're unreal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, a sub is normally they're a substitute for a reason. They're not part of the first team, but yeah, they're all part of a team. If they're coming on with like 10 minutes to spare, yeah, you shouldn't be putting massive pressure on them. It's often why a lot of say the analytics websites, they won't even have like a rating of the players if they come on too late.
Yeah,
but there's definitely impact subs that you can have later on into game that change the game up completely. Say if you have say for Newcastle, we're talking about that. Say if we have like a Langer, say if we have a Langer and Johan Wissa starting, They're both very pacey. They run behind. If 10 minutes to spare, we bring on the likes of Voltamada and Jacob Murphy. We've then gone from running in behind to potentially putting balls over the top to get head of the ball a bit more physical. So it's all just about different things you can do with your team and your subs and what they can bring you. But yeah, I think bringing on a sub with 10 minutes to spare, you can't give them too much stick about what's gone on wrong in the game.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, it has gone 9 minutes to 8. Everybody's getting their drinks and their snacks. They're getting their channels on. They're picking their game. Obviously, everybody who's been here is going to be watching Newcastle because Ash told us how excited
100%.
they are. They're the team to watch. They're about to get a boob job. It's going to be unreal, okay? So,
I would say Chelsea's already 1-0 up.
Frick off.
They're already 1-0 up to
They heard us
Wolves.
talking about them.
Yeah.
They've been tuning in, actually. On the side, they've been tuning in going, do you know what? They're talking about us. So we're putting us in the lower category. We need to start scoring some goals. But I'm going to let everybody go because I know everybody wants to go and watch the football and you need to get yourself nice and comfortable before you start. So before you go, Ash, what is your score prediction?
Looking at the team, we've got a very good, strong lineup. I think it's going to be 3-1 Newcastle.
3-1 for the new look Newcastle with the boob job and the facelift. Everybody, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please put a big up for Ash because honestly, this was genuinely.
Luke, before this, I need to say this right. I thought Spurs' keeper was called Kinky. He's called Kinski. I have never heard of this person before. I fully thought this guy's called Kinky. That's crazy.
Do you know what? I think we should just call him Kinky now. Anyway, it's like a nickname.
It's got to be. Kinky from Czech Republic.
Ending the stream how we started it, having a laugh, nice and relaxed, good vibes. Thank you so much, Ash, because this has been an experiment. Thank you, everybody who joined us. And hopefully we will talk to you all very, very soon. Take care.